Hi, I'm Ernie,
And I'm Ben.
and this is Budget Nerds.
What was all in your mind?
You are not alone.
No, you are not. Friends, welcome back to another episode. I'm pumped about this one, Ben. I am absolutely pumped because we're going to do something that we've never done before. We're going to do a live screen share through the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, we've showed little clips of the web app and the mobile app from time to time, but I thought it would be really fun if we got a super messy budget and our goal was to get it working again, basically, to clean everything up, to have a working YNAB spending plan by the end of this.
Yeah. So we got the original plan was for somebody else to make the messy budget, and Ernie and I would never see it. But Ernie, you've seen this. You know a little bit about what's going on. Right?
I have. I didn't create it. Jill on the support team created
Jill
this file. So
created it.
thank you, Jill. And I think
Thanks, Jill.
Kat also had a hand in
Okay.
this a little bit. But
How evil are they going to be to us? We'll see.
well, yeah, there's some things, but they made this for us graciously a number of months ago. And we didn't get to the episode until like 2 months later. So I wanted to make it as current as possible. So I updated all the transactions with a little bit more recent dates. So yes, I do have some insider information here.
Okay, so you're quizzing me here.
I'm kind of quizzing you. Yes.
So we're gonna go through this budget, and we're gonna fix it by the end of the episode. We're gonna make it working again. It's almost like kind of like a mock coaching episode, but there's no actual person. Is that kind of the vibe we're going for here?
Absolutely.
And this
And
is gonna be. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think this is going to be helpful for folks.
Yeah, I think so. If you're listening on the podcast, I apologize because this is going to be a visual heavy episode. So if you want to go watch on YouTube, you'd be more than welcome to do that. Or I think you might be able to just get the vibes from what we describe and just listen.
We'll try to really be descriptive about what we're doing on the screen. So
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
think it's going to be a total loss over on
I think
the
it'd be kind of
podcast.
fun actually to listen to audio only and try to like visualize it in your head, and
Absolutely.
it could be interesting. Okay, so
And I do want to say this too. You don't have to fix your messy budget, right? This is just one
Yeah.
of the options. Like, you know, if you have abandoned YNAB, you're coming back, or things just got really out of control, you can always do a fresh start. And that is where you basically delete all your budget data and you just bring in your accounts and all the customization you put into your categories. You start over with that. Or you can start completely from scratch using the new budget option as well. But I know there are some folks who they want that one budget, they want to retain their data, and so they want to clean up the mess that has been created. So that's what we're going to walk through today.
nice. Yeah, and I think this is good because I think a lot of what we show when we're on the YouTube channel is like the happy path, like
Yes.
it's like the ideal, but this
Yep.
is real life here, right? This
Real
is
life.
this is the way
And
that,
there's no
I think
shame
so.
in this. Like, Ben, you're smiling, you're happy, right? You're not feeling bad about this just complete
Yeah.
disaster dumpster fire of a budget you have here, but
This is real life, man.
It
This is how it
happens.
goes. This happens. So what's the scenario here, Ernie? Like, is this person new to YNAB? Have they used it for a while and then got behind? Like, what's the situation? Do you know?
I don't know what that is. I don't think
Oh,
it matters
okay.
in this case.
It doesn't matter.
But,
Okay.
but it is, they have been, well, yeah, they started 2 months ago. Yes, I know
Okay.
that.
Okay.
So they started 2 months ago, and things are just, they've been keeping track of their spending,
Mhm.
but the transactions have gotten out of control. There's a number of uncategorized transactions. Accounts probably aren't reconciled, and there's just a lot of overspending, and we have a negative ready to assign at the top.
Okay.
So we just need to make things current.
Yeah. Okay. And I see a lot of accounts. All right. Well, let's
Where do
let's
you
bring
start?
it up.
Where do you start with a
So
messy
you brought
budget?
it up now
Yep.
for the viewers, the budget nerds at home. Okay, so here you go. Okay, so I'm just gonna talk through what I'm seeing, and you can fill in the blanks there, Ernie. Okay, so yeah, I notice ready to assign is negative.
Yeah, big number, negative $1,803.80.
I'm clicking back into September because I want to see what's going on in September. Okay, like where we left it last
Yeah.
month. Okay, because we're recording this in October. And I'm clicking back into August. There's a little bit in August. Okay. And by the way, Ernie's doing the screen sharing, so I'm talking through it, and Ernie's actually
Trying to keep up with everything.
Yeah. And then I'm even go back into July. There's some stuff in July too. Is that meant to be? Is there meant to be stuff in July? I don't know.
Oh, yes, it did. I'm sorry. So it started July 29th. I believe that is the start date. Let me go to this account register. Yep. Starting balance, July 29th.
July 29th. Okay. All right. So we don't necessarily have to go back and fix old months.
No.
Let's focus on this
Not
month.
at all.
Get everything nice and green on this month. Okay. So first step. Well, let me just go through and see what I'm noticing. Okay. So in October, we have some uncategorized transactions right at the top.
Yeah.
So we'll need to deal with that. We have some overspending, both credit card and cash overspending. Right?
Yep. The cash overspending is negative red over here on the right. Credit card is negative yellow.
Okay. And yeah, we've got a lot of matchy going. Like we got a category called Emergency Fund SoFi Savings Account. So that's tied to one of the accounts. I don't even know which one yet. Okay.
Oh, yep, right there.
I noticed over on the account side, we got things like accounts that have purposes, right? Like taxes and fund money, Christmas.
Yep.
And this is the big one. I noticed the credit card payments category group has a lot of negative, so we got to deal with that too.
Yeah.
I also noticed there's yellow in one of the credit card payment categories, which
the Costco
is really
Visa.
Interesting. Yeah, and if you click there, you get an explanation of why it's yellow, which is kind of new. I mean, like a year old, maybe. How long have we been doing that? Where we actually say like
12 months.
Yeah, something. I think it was around this time last year where we added that. Gosh, time flies. And this is really helpful because I famously don't use credit cards, so I don't really see this kind of thing. But yeah,
it's telling us you need to categorize $66.08 of transactions to pay off your current balance.
So the reason why it's yellow is because of uncategorized transactions.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Okay. All right. So that's kind of a vibe. All right. So the first thing we need to do before we do anything else is reconcile all these accounts.
Yes. Right? For a second there, Ben, I was like, is he going to start on the category side?
The thing? I did. All right. If you're a coach, if you're one of our certified coaches, you probably were like, Ben, what did you tell us? Because I helped write the starting curriculum, and that's what I always said. The very first thing you have to do before you do anything else is reconcile your accounts. Because if we started on the budget, and if we started fixing all the overspending and doing stuff, and then went to the accounts and started categorizing uncategorized transactions and fixing all that, we'd go right back to the budget, and the budget would be messed up again.
Yeah.
Right? So you got to get the source of truth true to life. And the source of truth is the accounts.
The accounts feed the budget.
Yeah.
So we need those
not the other way
first.
Around.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I just wanted to kind of get an overview, and I also wanted to freak you out that, Ben, are you not going to...
Seriously, I was like, okay, how am I going to very politely tell him that we need to start on the account side and not the category side?
Yeah. I got you. Okay.
I should never have doubted.
So I'm already feeling like this is going to take a long time, though, because we got so many different accounts, right, Ernie?
Yeah, there's a ton of accounts.
So I think we just need to start at the top and work our way down.
I completely agree. That's the way I always tackle it.
Yeah. Okay.
And what do you look at first when you get into an account and you're not sure whether or not it matches?
Well, first thing I'd want to do is hit that reconcile button and actually figure out how far off it is.
Okay. So top right, I'm going to hit the reconcile. It says, is your current balance $8,051.13?
Yeah. Or do you think it's better to approve and categorize transactions first?
I mean,
I guess we can do
I'm
both.
scrolling through the register right now, and I see a ton of uncleared transactions and a ton of uncategorized transactions.
Yeah.
I think it might be best if we take care of those first and then see where we're at.
Yeah, I think it's
reconciling.
Best. Okay, so I'm going to hit that blue banner at the top. 8 new transactions.
All right, view the 8 new transactions. Oh, wow.
Okay, so I see what's going on here. A lot of these are transfers.
Yeah.
Online payment from Amex, online payment from Chase, online payment from Amex. So, we even have a payee called transfer to investment account. So the person that has this budget doesn't understand the concept of how to set up a transfer, which fair, because
yes, it is confusing.
This is probably one of the most unintuitive things in the software that I think we need to figure out a way to make it easier, because it really just has to be taught. You just have to learn how to do it. Okay.
Yep.
And part of it is because when you have direct import, and clearly this person's set up with direct import, not really in real life, but we are, because they're coming in with these long payee names. If you see all caps in a budget, it's an imported transaction, right?
Yep.
And direct import brings in transfers as just like a regular payee, and the key for a transfer is you need to change the payee to be a transfer to that account, right?
Yeah.
So I guess we should do that. What do you think, Ernie?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. Let's convert these regular outflow inflows into transfers. So
can we do something fancy? Could we go into payee settings and set up a rule to make this happen?
All right,
or is that too fancy?
Well, okay, you don't have to go into the payee window.
Oh, yeah?
I think I can click the payee right here. Manage payees.
Uh-huh. Oh, right. You can do it there. Yeah. Okay.
So I'm in the manage payees tab now. So this is an online payment to Amex. Okay, so I need to find transfer. All right, here we go. Transfer. Whoops. Nope. My bad. What do I need to do here?
I don't know. I feel like I've made it complicated. I'm not sure you can do this in the manage payees. Maybe we should just do it.
Maybe I can't. But I think...
Will it automatically do it? I'm not sure if it will.
Right. If we switch one, will it switch them all? Okay.
I feel like I shouldn't actually click anything, because I'm actually, so Ernie's the one screen sharing. I have the budget open. If I change something, it's gonna change for you, and then we're gonna be fighting each other. So I'm gonna let you do the
okay. So
the button clicking.
I clicked into the payee field, and at the very top, I have the payments and transfers list. So this is to my Amex. So I'm gonna find my Amex account. There we go. Payment to Amex.
Mm-hmm.
And then YNAB automatically pulled in the credit card payment Amex category.
Perfect.
So now I know I have this set up as a transfer. So now I can save it.
Okay. And I think when you click on another, find that another Amex payment there.
Right here. So
it should come up same way. Yeah. It's going to have the same thing. So yeah, we'll have to do this one by one here.
Okay. So there's another Amex. Here's another Amex payment. Online payment, Amex. Click. Transfer to Amex. Okay.
All right. Sounds good. Now we got Chase. So we got a few Chase. So let's do those.
Oh, what Chase is this?
Oh no. So this is tricky because
we have Chase card and we have Jimmy's Chase.
Yep. Fresh start, guys. Fresh start.
No, we want this budget.
No. Okay. Can we figure this out? Can we make this happen? So what's the amount on one of those Chase ones?
Okay.
Because I think that might give us a clue.
We have $2,256.59.
Okay. So I'm going to search that in both of these Chase accounts, because if we have direct import set up, ideally that transaction should show up in both, right?
Yes.
So, okay, yeah. So I see the $2,256 in the Chase card.
There it is.
So that we know that one in the checking account is connected to the Chase card account, not Jimmy's Chase.
Yep.
Look,
Okay.
I feel pretty fancy there. That felt like a pretty clever
That was
move.
slick. Okay, so I'm going to click on the payee field. I'm going to pick payment to Chase card.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now that we're saving that, and let's go into the Chase card and see what we have now.
Okay.
Oh, wow. So now you see that little chain link. It matched it up.
That's what I was wondering. Would it link it right away?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it did
So
do that.
to me, that is peace of mind.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like that chain link is telling me I don't have to worry about duplicates here. So I like that.
Okay, perfect.
So I'm going to approve that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Should we do that for the other Chase one here?
Yeah, although we don't know which one it is from, so we'll have to search it again. It's probably the same one, I would imagine. But,
I would guess because the payees are so similar.
I see, Jill and Kat, you guys are evil. This is clever. You thought you could get us.
Well, they still might.
Well, they will, yes.
24/23/96.
Because this is something that folks in support like Jill and Kat probably deal with all the time, and they probably have all sorts of tricks for how to handle this that we don't know about, because in marketing we're all happy path, right?
Yeah, if Jill and Kat made this video, they'd be done by now. Right? It'd be a 10-minute budget nerd episode.
So
people would be like, "Oh, thank you."
Probably should have brought them on just let us know when we're like going the wrong way.
Okay, so I found that payment amount also in the Chase card account.
Okay, yeah, the corresponding inflow transaction there.
So and I'm going to highlight this again so folks at home, folks listening can watch this. This is going to have a little chain link after we match it up here. So online payment.
Yeah, so what's happening here when you create a transfer is it creates a transaction. Well, it overwrites this transaction sort of in this account, and it's also creating a corresponding transaction in the other account. And then that new transaction in the other account is linking up with the one that's already there. So that's what's going on there.
Oh, wow. Okay. So one more. And just double check 662.22 Chase.
I feel like that's probably Jimmy's.
Right
no,
there.
It is from Chase. Okay.
Yep. This is still the Chase. So,
okay. I wonder who Jimmy is. Is Jimmy the partner, or is Jimmy like a kid, like a teenager?
Jimmy's a partner.
Jimmy's a partner. Oh, you know all this stuff. Okay.
I forget the other person's name. Maybe we'll figure that out. Okay, so back to checking. Whoops, let me go back to Chase. Where's that chain link? There it is. Okay.
All right. So we got those sorted. So how many more?
Oh, we have one more here.
This is probably, what is this? Okay, so this is savings account.
Yeah, so I'm hovering over the payee and online transfer from way to savings. Okay, so that's this account, way to savings right here.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I don't see the other side of a transfer here, but that's okay. It looks like nothing has been recorded or imported.
I love the loud "do not touch" there.
Oh, right.
And yet we have a transfer from it. So because that's real life, right?
Funny how that happens, right?
That's right.
Okay, so
this will create a new corresponding transfer in the savings account.
Yeah, and back to the managed payee discussion we had. I think what's happening now is the renaming rules are getting added.
It'll be from now on when that payee comes in. It should match. Yeah. So really, you only have to do this once. If you're relying on direct import, you should only have to do this once, and it should keep going, unless your bank changes the payee, which might happen.
Yeah. So let me go to.
I know we're doing some work on cleaning up those payees automatically when they come in.
Here we go.
Based on past data, so that'd be really helpful. Oh yeah, you can change it.
Yeah, there it is. So there's that renaming rule.
So it created the renaming rule automatically. Yeah. Cool. Man,
Okay, so
I didn't think we'd be getting into payee settings.
This has it all.
Manage payees.
So we have one other transaction in the checking account that needs to be categorized. This is transferred to investment account.
Okay, so we don't have an investment account on the budget. Although I say that, we don't have a tracking account, but do we have an investment account? But it's possible that somebody put an investment account on the budget. So I want to look through and make sure.
Oh, sure. So the accounts we have: taxes, way to savings, savings vacation, cash,
Yeah.
SoFi checking, Christmas fund, and then we have the 5 credit cards. So I'm not seeing
If I was sitting
investment
down
account
with
there.
somebody, I would ask them, be like, because, I feel like somebody might be like, oh yeah, my investment account is the savings vacation,
Right,
Who knows?
right.
So I would ask them, but this is just so because this account isn't on budget and it's not a tracking account, it's just a regular transaction, right?
Yep,
So,
regular outflow here.
yeah.
So,
So
we
we can
need to
leave that be.
categorize it.
This needs category, yeah,
And let's see if they have an
Category.
investment category.
right.
So I'm in non-monthly. I'm not seeing anything. Just for fun, I'm not seeing anything. Savings, I'm not seeing anything.
So we might need a new
Vacations,
category
I'm not seeing anything. I'm not seeing anything.
here. Yeah. So if I was sitting down with somebody, I'd ask them like, where would you want your? Because this is a teaching moment too. Sending money to an investment is a expense. It's kind of like treated like an expense in YNAB because it's
Right,
off
because
budget.
the money is leaving.
Yeah, money's leaving the budget. YNAB sees it as it's like a regular transaction. So we need a category for it, which isn't super intuitive actually to somebody who's new to YNAB. So I might put this under.
So I'm going to create a new category.
You could probably put it under
that little-
savings.
What do you want to call it?
I'd ask them why they're investing. It'd probably be for retirement. Let's just call it retirement. Let's say it's
Okay.
Let's just say it's retirement. But obviously, I'd want to ask the person.
Jimmy and partner are saving for retirement. And we're going to put that, you want that in savings, you said?
Yeah, I guess savings works.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we can save that.
I actually have my retirement under bills, which feels funny, but
Right.
but it's like
But yeah,
monthly, and it comes
It's
out
a monthly
automatically.
outflow.
So
Yeah,
think of it
I
as
have the same
bills.
thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we have all of the checking transactions categorized.
Okay, so now we need to reconcile.
Oh, and we still have all those uncleared transactions.
Right. Okay. So what I like to, so I think first thing, hit the reconcile button and put in the correct amount.
Is your current balance $8,051.13? Nope. And we're looking at the actual bank right now, and that balance is $1,468.66. So I'm just going to copy and paste that in.
Oh, okay. That's not so bad. Okay. I thought that they were about to quote unquote lose a lot of money. But if you look at the working balance, is that the amount that you just put in? No, it's not.
No, it's not.
Different. Okay. But it's not so bad because they just have a lot of unclear transactions. So it's
Right.
not
So
as bad as it looks.
But I mean, it is bad. YNAB is off $6,500.
But I think we can figure most of that out by clearing transactions.
Yes.
So it's not going to be too big a deal. All right. So yeah, hit that next. Now, here's what I like to do when I'm reconciling. I like to sort by the cleared status.
Okay, so I'm going to go up to the search bar and I'm going to start typing.
You don't sort. So like hit the little hit the little C there.
Okay.
This is what I like to do because
that's a lot easier.
Yeah, so you sort by date. So there's like this is a technical thing. There's like a secondary sort happening in the background. So if you sort by date, it's sorted by date, right? And then if you hit
it is.
And then if you hit the cleared status, it's sorted by the primary sort is the cleared status. So it's going to show uncleared, and then it's going to show cleared, and then it's going to show reconciled, all in a row. And then within those groups, it'll show it by date.
And that's exactly what we have. The top transaction is today, October 22nd, and it's sorted. The last uncleared transaction is September 9th.
Yeah. So this is nice. So what you'd want to do now is go through the bank and clear all the transactions that are marked cleared in the bank, but not marked cleared in YNAB, right?
So I'm looking at the bank, and everything but this transfer on October 22nd has cleared.
Okay, perfect. So you can go ahead and do that.
So I'm just going to select all of these, and we're going to do this in bulk.
You know about the shift thing, right?
No.
Oh my gosh, Ernie. All right, unclear this. Or uncheck all these, all right? Okay. Oh my gosh, Ernie, you're going to change your life right now. Okay.
Please help.
Select the top one.
Okay.
Now hold down shift on your keyboard.
Okay.
And select the bottom one that you want to do.
Oh my goodness. For
How
all
long have you
these-
been doing this?
Forever. I've been teaching 4
You've been
years.
click. Oh my gosh. Oh no.
People in my workshops are like, Ernie, get it together.
It's not that. It's not like you get it together. I just want you to be free.
I love that. That was really easy. Okay. So that's selected the 13. I'm going to, on the bottom, I'm going to hit that mass clear button.
Mm-hmm. Or you can just hit C on your keyboard too. That works.
Oh, wow.
I'm a little behind because the screen share is a little behind. There we go. Okay.
Oh, and look at that.
Chef's kiss. Perfect. Okay. So this is interesting.
Now YNAB is telling me this account's cleared balance in YNAB is the same as your actual account.
Yeah. So now we are reconciled.
Yes. And what this is telling me is that the issue was only uncleared transactions.
Yeah.
Right. We're not dealing with anything that's missing here.
Right.
If we would have cleared all of those and we still would have been off, then I'm like, okay, there's duplicates or we're missing something somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and if this account is connected to direct import, that should happen automatically. It should clear it automatically if it's cleared at your bank. So I would probably ask the person, like, keep an eye on that. Let's talk to support if it's not clearing automatically because it should be happening. But anyway.
Okay, we're reconciled. Let's finish.
Finish reconciliation. Get the little confetti.
And then
do we do confetti on here? I don't think we do. I think that's only mobile.
it doesn't do confetti.
Yeah, the confetti's
on the
mobile,
web app.
mobile only. Yeah.
And I'm gonna clear, or I'm gonna hide the reconciled transactions.
Mm-hmm.
I just cleans things up. I like that.
So beautiful. So every once in a blue moon, I will have no uncleared transactions, and then it's just a blank register after.
That is the absolute best.
Yeah.
Yep.
So to be clear, Ernie didn't get rid of any transactions; he just hid them, so we don't have to look at them anymore.
Yeah, I can always bring them back by hitting View All right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I feel like that took a while, Ernie, and we have like 20 accounts to go through. So
well, that's the big one, right? That's the big spending account, I think.
Right, but are we going to spend this whole episode just reconciling accounts? Is that what's about to happen?
Maybe.
All right. Well, let's power through it. Let's see how fast we can go.
All right. Taxes. The current balance on this account should be $193.47.
Oh, perfect. Well, we got it.
So we're good there.
Yes.
Easy.
Done.
Okay.
All right. Way to savings. Is this like a bank? Is a bank called like Way to Savings? I don't know what that is.
No, this is like a program inside of a bank. Is this Wells Fargo?
Okay.
I don't remember.
It's like an automatic savings thing, but it's a seperate account. So we want it to be a separate.
So this is supposed to be $700.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
I don't know. Let's come back to this.
Okay. Do you not have any transaction data for that one?
Right. So we do have these other cash accounts. So maybe there's something there.
There's a transfer situation. Okay.
Okay. Now we're in the savings vacation.
Okay.
We have two transfers. We have a $1,600 outflow. We have a $1,600 inflow.
And one's in September, one's in October. That's interesting.
Yeah. So we don't know, because these are regular outflow inflows, we don't know which account these came from.
Right. Just delete them. No.
Well,
so if you're ever not sure, just delete transactions. That's the advice. No, don't do that. Yeah, this is one of those weird things because we're not sure because we don't have a person sitting with us what talked about, and we don't have an account register with us to go through, so we don't know what's going on.
Well, so we just need to look in these other cash accounts for the 1,600. So we kind of need to work backwards like we did with the Chase credit card.
Why don't you do this? Go to all accounts and just search 1,600 and see if anything pops up.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so we got corresponding stuff here. So the okay.
We just need to match up the dates.
We just got to match them up. Yep. Yeah. So we got from checking to savings, or from savings to checking. Actually, opposite. So
yes. So this. Okay. So I'm gonna click into the checking bills account.
Oh, and this is interesting because that one is categorized to Disney Vacation.
Oh.
So that's going to change the budget significantly. Because that's not actually that nothing was spent yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that actually might help the budget side a little bit. So yeah, so fix that.
And I just want to say too, like, I think it's really important to, when you're on the account side reconciling, to sort out all the transfers.
Yeah.
Because sometimes they do get entered like this, where it's a transfer between two budget accounts, but a category has been given.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yes, the account balances would be correct, but this is going to wildly throw off the budget.
It's going to completely change the budget. Yeah.
So we want to set this up correctly. Okay, so this needs to be account.
Yeah,
right
I noticed it's actually going to be in a negative way too, because the inflow is categorized, but the outflow is not. So the budget's going to be wrecked.
So save changes to reconciled transaction.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yes.
Yeah. And then we should have a corresponding.
So here they are right here. So now they're both set up correctly.
So you can match those two, match the 1600 and the other 1600 outflow. You can manually match those two.
Oh, right. Because now this is a duplicate. So we have the account. You can see over here on the left, the savings accounts. So both transactions selected. And I think it's because these are both probably manual transactions.
Oh yeah, you can't match a manual transaction with a.
So I'm just going to delete the duplicate
right
here.
The duplicate. Yeah, perfect.
Okay.
That's why they didn't automatically match, because YNAB's like, oh, they're both manually entered. Like, what's the deal? Okay,
so now these two are correctly set up as transfers, and I'm looking at those little transfer icons right there. I visually like seeing that.
Yeah, that's helpful. Yeah, especially in this view.
And then I'm going to do the same thing right here.
Yeah.
So this is SoFi checking. Perfect.
Okay, and
this one matched up.
Okay, yeah. Probably when Joe and Kat were setting this up, maybe they imported that with a file that they set up or something like that. Okay, cool. So we're all set there.
So now, back to the saving vacation account. It looks like we have those both set up as transfers. And the balance is 160.34. So
which matches we've got that the working balance. You can see there.
We've got the right cleared balance in YNAB.
Yeah. So if you clear those two transactions, I think it should reconcile perfectly.
It's still going to be the same. Yep. And I do want to mark those as cleared because, looking at the bank side, they have been posted. So there we go. Yes, that is the account balance. Boom.
Boom. Nailed it. All right. Cash. Well, we don't know. Wait, we've got to pull out your wallet, person.
I'm looking at my wallet, and Jimmy has $85.
Good job, Jimmy. You did it.
So there we go. That's reconciled.
See, Jimmy's on here. He's entering transactions. He's not the reluctant partner, right? Unless maybe the partner's been. What's funny? I feel sad because we have a name for the partner, but not a name for the person running the budget. Do we have a name for the person running the budget, or do we know? Let's just call it her Jackie.
I don't know. I thought I knew it.
That's all right.
Maybe we'll find out from another transaction.
We need a story, Okay. All right. So should we keep moving to SoFi checking there?
Yes.
Now we got a lot of. Oh no, that's a different one. Okay.
Okay. So the balance here is supposed to be 141.02. And the cleared balance in YNAB is 141.02. So it matches. Let me just double check. Every transaction is marked as cleared. Okay, so those are good. And I just want to double check to see if we have any weird transfers that are maybe set up as to a category.
Yeah, that's a good idea, just to be sure, because these transfers are really messing with us. Well, we do have Venmo cash out, but cash in payment, but Venmo is not an account, so they're probably just treating Venmo like a payment method, which is what I do. I immediately cash out Venmo immediately. I don't want to keep it around as an account.
We have interest, so earned interest getting categorized as ready to assign. That's correct. Direct deposit, that's the paycheck. That's ready to assign. So we're good there. Yeah, I think this one is good.
Nice.
Reconcile. Yep, that's the balance. Boom. Okay.
We're moving right along here. Christmas.
Moving along. Christmas.
So, so this is a savings account.
This is savings. We have 3 transfers. They're all set up correctly.
Mm-hmm.
All the transactions are cleared. So what is the cleared balance here? 130. Cleared balance in YNAB is 130? Yes.
Done.
All right.
Fun money.
No activity.
Oh, interesting. Okay, what's the
Reconcile. Is your current balance 3704? My cleared balance is 3704. Okay.
These folks are having no fun at all.
Yeah, this is a great candidate to just consolidate, simplify, move that money somewhere else.
Yeah, you don't need that in a separate account with only $37 in it, and Christmas and taxes, honestly. But we'll get there.
Okay. Chase card.
Okay, so we don't have any uncleared transactions.
No, they all look to be
categories. Everything's categorized. Okay.
And this is the one where we had the 3 or 4 credit card payments, and we got those correctly set up as transfers. So
I imagine the reason why the payment is off is because of past overspending that wasn't covered from previous months.
Right.
Because I was expecting to see, maybe there's some uncategorized transactions, and that's not the case. It's probably just past overspending. So we'll just reconcile this, and we'll deal with that on the budget side.
All right, so I hit that reconcile button. Is your balance 8541? Look at my bank. Yes. Hey, the balance is 8541.
Thank you, Jill and Kat, for being nice to us on some of these accounts.
Okay.
Okay. And you notice, all those reconciled transactions did file away for us. Okay, so we do have some uncategorized transactions here.
So you want to view those?
Yeah, let's view those.
So I'm hitting the view button in the upper right.
Okay.
Okay, so we got 2 credit card payments.
Yeah, let's deal with the payments first. I'm just curious about WordPress, but we'll talk about that later. Okay.
Do you just want to approve those, or
are they set up correctly? Yeah, it looks like they are. So we do have. Oh, those might be. This is the Visa. Oh no, we didn't do any Visa. I was wondering if those came through from what we did in the checking account, but no, I think it's just all set up right. I mean, you could click over. No, it's all good. Yeah, let's just approve those.
Okay.
Yeah, those are both good.
Approve the 2 payments. So now we've got 5 uncategorized transactions, and it looks like a couple of them are inflows.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which is interesting. An inflow into a credit card implies like a refund, right?
Yeah. So here's the original purchase, 312.
It all matches up. So they did a refund. They made a purchase with WordPress and then did a refund. But for some reason, WordPress sent it as 2 separate transactions. So which makes it all the more confusing. So we just
need to find a home for these.
Yeah,
things.
we need to find a home for these, and they'll all be the same. Although, yeah, they're all the same month too. So this is pretty clean. If they're different months, it might be a little less clean.
I mean, honestly, it doesn't matter where we put this.
Yeah, I mean, it matters
because it offsets.
Actually, yeah, it literally doesn't matter. I just wonder if there's anything that's where it fits, just for my own sake.
Miscellaneous?
Yeah, let's just put it miscellaneous. I don't know.
But yeah, obviously, if we were working with someone, would be like, "Hey, what was this for?" And
yeah,
we'd get it correctly categorized. But
exactly.
Okay, so I'm gonna do Actually, let's do this mass.
Yeah, bulk categorization.
Categorize, frequent, miscellaneous. Perfect.
Love
okay,
it.
HOA payment.
Boo. Oh, and look at that, 6608. Remember we saw that on the warning? That's that warning. Remember when we clicked on the credit card payment category, it was like 6608 in uncategorized transactions.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So I think this might work out. Okay, anyway.
Okay, so what is this? This is probably non-monthly? Are HOAs? They're not monthly, are they?
I've never been in an HOA, knock on wood.
Me either.
I heard bad things. Although, I bet you there's just as many people that are like, my HOA is great. So, I mean, if you live in a condo, you need to put a new roof on the building, right? You need an HOA. It's just a thing.
Well, I'm not seeing an HOA category, and this is going to be a regular occurrence.
Yes,
so I think we need to recommend that Jimmy and partner.
I'm guessing this is monthly because of the amount. If it was non-monthly, I feel like it'd be more than $66.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go into bills, new category, HOA. Perfect. Annual membership fee. $95.
Very vague. Click into that. See if there's any more details in the payee there.
Oh, this is for the fee for having the credit card.
See, I wouldn't know.
Yep. Yeah, I know because I pay this $95 twice a year.
Okay. So when they say no fees, this is what they're talking about. All right. So what? Yeah. How do you categorize that? You used to have like a credit card payment fee category? Or?
Yes, I had a fee category for the longest time, and then now I just have an annual bills category, and it gets rolled into that. So I'm just going to create a new one called annual CC fee. Yeah.
So credit card companies, I don't often think about this. Credit card companies are like triple dipping. Like they get money from every transaction, right? They get money from interest, and they get money from fees.
Yep. And yet we think we're winning.
I wasn't going to say it.
Hey, I just stayed in a quote unquote free hotel room this past weekend with my credit card points that I pay the annual fee on.
Right.
And yeah, I felt great. I'm like, I'm winning. I got a free hotel room. Anyways.
They built the hotel, so
anyway. Everything is categorized. Everything is
so hit that
cleared.
reconcile.
Let's hit the reconcile button and see what comes up. Is your current balance 1483.18? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
The bank balance is 1483.13 or 18.
Perfect.
So those match.
Okay, so this isn't so bad.
And you know a little trick? I forget who taught me this at YNAB. I think it was one of the developers. Maybe it was Nathan. Anyway, what you do, because what I'm doing here is I'm just like going back and forth to see if YNAB matches my bank.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say no.
Oh, yeah.
And then I'm going to copy and paste it in.
Yeah. And that way you don't have to like visually look at it. Yeah, I do this a lot too.
And then since they match, YNAB tells me they're reconciled.
Yeah. I like that. It is nice to have that, like, hey, this is what we think it is. Especially if you have it connected with direct import, it'll be like, hey, this is good. Like if it knows it's good, right?
Yep.
But I do use that trick a lot. Just say no every time if it's not one of those.
Okay, Amex. So we have 3 new transactions to approve or categorize.
They're all linked payments. So I'm sure these are fine.
Yep. So let's just bulk approve those.
Sure, they're fine.
Sure, they're fine. Well, we'll find out.
Yeah, we're going to find out with the reconciliation.
And there's not a whole lot of transactions here, so I'm just going to hit reconcile.
Yeah, we can just close this credit card too. Just reconcile.
Is this your current balance? No, I'm just going to copy and paste. Okay, so something's off here.
Ah, okay.
Here's what the current balance is at Amex. $6,270.34.
Okay, well, that's good. We're moving in the right direction here.
So we're off by $1,167.15.
Okay. Do we know why?
I do.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Why? Am I supposed to be able to figure out why?
I want you to try to figure out. Like,
okay,
that's a big number. I'll give you a hint. Like, that's a big number. So,
is there
it doesn't feel like it's missing transactions.
Is there a payment that we haven't entered? I don't know. I'm blank here, Ernie.
No, you're on the right path. So I would keep pulling that thread a little bit.
Okay. So there's some kind of transfer that is missing. Let's look at the payments. So when was the last payment? The 15th of October. Is that
yep,
right?
15th. I'm gonna highlight that.
Oh, but it's only $139.
And then we have a payment on the 28th.
These are minimum payments is what I'm looking at here. Right.
Yeah.
So did we do what was the amount that we were off by?
$1,167
Okay.
in some sense.
I was really hoping you were going to be like $1,139 and they just like missed a zero. That'd be kind of fun. Okay. No, it's not that. I mean, it sounds like a transfer. I don't know. I give up, Ernie. What am I missing here? Should I look at somewhere else?
There's a credit card payment that was entered in the wrong account.
Oh.
Or imported into the wrong account.
Oh, interesting.
And seriously, you can't beat yourself up, and no one can, because this can happen. And you're like, how would I ever know that?
Right. Was it imported
other
in the
than
wrong
if you
account?
were
like, was there a technical issue that caused that, or was it entered in the wrong account, or do we know?
We don't know.
Okay. Probably entered in the
But
wrong
sometimes they do, if you have multiple credit cards with the same bank, it is possible that they get imported with the renaming rules into the wrong account.
Oh, and I notice Disney Visa has a positive amount on it.
Good eyes.
Which is weird for a credit card, right? I mean, it happens.
Yes, that it does happen, but it is rare.
Yeah. So I wonder if that is where the transfer went, where it shouldn't have. Okay.
Yeah, right back here on the 16th of August.
Uh-huh.
It was accidentally imported or logged into the Disney Visa account.
Interesting. Okay. So we just need to move that transaction to Amex, and we'll be all set. Ooh, that's a fun one.
So now we moved that to the Amex account.
Okay.
So now if I hit the reconcile button, is your balance 6270.34? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Now they match.
Yeah.
I think for Jill and Kat, that was the trickiest one.
Oh yeah.
It took me a while because again, I was moving these dates forward.
Well, when we got,
so I was getting this ready for you, and I was like, oh.
When we got to the Disney Visa, I think I would be like, oh, why is that positive? Like, what's going on? We might have figured it out there, but yeah, interesting. Okay.
And that's, sometimes we're just starting at the top and reconciling down. Sometimes you just got to feel like what makes sense here? Pick off the quick wins. And then if something looks off, like a positive balance credit card, you start there.
Yeah. And again, I would probably advise a fresh start here. This is pretty onerous, but we're going through it, right? Okay, so we got one category or one transaction that needs a category, and that's a payment.
Yeah, so that looks good. Let's just approve that. And I see everything is cleared, so let's just reconcile and see what we get here. 780.47. Yep, the balance here is 780.47, so we're good.
Once again, good job, Jimmy.
All
right. And we got Disney Visa, which should be better now that we fixed that transfer issue. Let's see. We got one category. Oh, that's the one that we...
Let's categorize that. Or just approve that. Yep, that's good.
Yeah, approve that.
And here is one uncleared transaction.
Yeah, that's interesting. Chili's.
So that's back on the 7th. That was 2 weeks ago. That should be cleared. I don't know why it's not.
They go to Chili's twice in one day? I really like Chili's. You spent like $200 at Chili's in one day.
I don't think it's that they really like Chili's.
I don't think anybody goes to Chili's and then is like, I like that so much, I'm going to go back in a couple hours.
And I'm going to spend more.
Sorry, Chili's.
Maybe it was Michael Scott. I don't know.
I feel God in this Chili's today. Oh my gosh. If you know, you know. All right.
No, I don't think this is Michael Scott really liking Chili's.
I think it's just how we enter the transactions. All right.
What's going on here is, so this was entered manually.
Mm-hmm.
Without the tip.
Oh, without the tip. That's it.
Yep.
I should have known. I should have known.
The cleared version came through.
Yeah, that'll do it. Yeah. Yeah. So the tip for you guys, I used to do this crazy thing where I would manually enter without the tip. And then and this was before I had direct import. This is YNAB 4 days. I would manually enter without the tip. And then when the tip went through, I would change the transaction. Now just enter the full amount with the tip. Like, why? Wait. Just do it. You know what's right.
Yep.
And I think because back then I was reconciling, like including pending transactions, I was reconciling in a really weird way. And that's why I would do it that way. But yeah, it's just enter the full amount with the tip. Whenever I go to a restaurant where there's a tip, I just write down the full amount right away in YNAB, because otherwise you'll forget. So
now, in most cases, the non-tip transaction is going to be entered manually, and the tip transaction is going to be imported, and you can select those two and match them. But in this case, they're both manually created. So I'm just going to delete the uncleared.
Yeah.
Because that's the inaccurate one.
Yeah, which is not as satisfying as matching, even though it's literally the exact same thing. The end result is literally the same, but it's something's very satisfying about matching. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, that chain link, you just, I love that feeling.
It feels good, yeah.
So the balance here is 253.20. Yep, we're right.
Okay. All right, so the only one we haven't dealt with is the way to savings, which I wonder if that was just a mistake in our setup. Is that what that is?
No. This should be 700. I think. Wait, what's going on here? So we are off. What are we off?
800.
Let me mark this as cleared because that happened back on the 2nd, so we know that. So we're off $800.
Did you get my quick math there? I'm proud of myself. I can do 15 minus 8 or minus 7. Anyways.
Yeah. Okay. Well, nope. I'm not finding an $800 transfer.
We might. What could it be?
I thought I had everything worked out, but obviously.
Yeah, I don't know what else it could be because if it were because it's a savings account, which you can't spend out of, right? It's not like, there's not like a debit card associated with this savings account, so it would have to be a transfer. So I think this one we might just need to wink at, or I mean, no, we wouldn't wink at it in real life, right? But I wonder if this is just
let's just do a quick check here. Is there anything in the checking account that maybe needs to be set up?
Okay. Because I just don't believe. I don't believe that Jill and Kat would. Okay. Recurring transfer.
This is the savings emergency fund. So this is the category set up to match that account.
Oh, let's look at the category. How much is in the category? I would be willing to bet it's 700. Maybe not.
2,800.
Oh gosh. Oh no. We have some bad news for you. Whatever your name is.
Okay. Well, let's deal with this transfer right here. I'm just gonna turn that into so it goes to the way to savings.
Right, because we didn't do that at all.
So now we're only off 750.
Yeah, that didn't do much. Okay. Nope.
Let's see if we can find this somewhere else. Maybe they had that. Oh, here's another recurring.
Yeah, we got to change all the recurrings. There's more than one. And then I'm willing to bet we have an outflow.
Here we go. Online transfer. Here's another transfer that's set up as a regular inflow outflow.
Yeah, we got to fix all those. Okay, this will solve the problem because we were off by 800. We fixed 250s and now we're off by 900. So I think that
and changing those to transfers doesn't impact the balance in this checking account. So I still know this is reconciled.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I just need to mark these as cleared, right? Because these happened back in August, and they really did happen.
Okay,
on the bank side.
So it wasn't a mistake. It was just
Jill and
Kat being sneaky. Yeah.
Yes.
Trying to mess with us.
My goodness. Ben, we've been tackling reconciliation for how long have we been recording here? 45 minutes?
An hour. Oh no.
and seriously, that was a lot of fun. I love doing this stuff. But
that felt like it went by in seconds. I don't know how it felt to you guys who were listening, but I had a fun time with that. That was really enjoyable.
But this is just another plug to simplify. If you've gone through this before, you know exactly what we're talking about. The more accounts you have to manage, just the more overhead there is to manage.
And we haven't done anything about asking the question of what do we want our life to look like, and that's what really matters here.
Right.
Okay. So now the budget's even worse.
If this was me, I'm taking out SoFi checking. I'm just having one checking account, one savings, and I'm getting rid of fun money, Christmas. I'd keep cash, get rid of savings, and way to savings. Yeah, one of those I would keep.
And then just get rid of all of the credit cards.
You can keep those. Maybe get rid of one. Like maybe, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, at least I mean that might be a later on thing. And what I would do if I was coaching someone, I'd have a conversation about that. I wouldn't like. I mean, they could be real gung ho and be like, yeah, let's do it right now. Let's transfer some funds, But I just talk about it and be like, at some point, let's simplify this, because now we need to play matchy too, right?
Yep. And so, I think. I would say leave the credit card consolidation to maybe later, because I think it's the cash accounts, because you're constantly moving money back and forth, and you could see we got confused with all those transfers. Where was it from the right account? Which account should it have been to?
Yeah.
So
it just makes things way more complicated than they need to be.
Okay.
Not accounts to mention too, like we're transferring for not. We didn't do a transfer because we paid our taxes. We did a transfer because the checking account balance got too low, right?
Yes.
And so if all those things were consolidated into one checking account, you wouldn't have that cash flow issue, you know. So that's a huge part of it too. Okay, now we can look at the budget.
Accounts are reconciled. We can trust these amounts. So now, what do you want to do with the categories? How do you want to?
Okay, there's a couple approaches. We could go one by one, and we could find the money. Or we could select everything and hit reset available amounts, send all the money back to ready to assign.
Okay.
That's kind of a soft, fresh start. And I think that'd be easier in this case.
And you know what's really awesome about this feature? I just learned this. I think Kat told me this. It is funding the overspent categories.
Oh, I didn't know it did that. Okay.
So not only does it take out the positives, it's going to correct the overspent,
because it's resetting. It's putting them all to zero. So it's not. It's not sending all the money to ready to assign. It's just the stuff that has actual positive cash in it. Yeah.
So there we go. 2 clicks, and we've resolved the negative ready to assign and all of our overspent categories.
This is the way to go, because I was going to go through a process where we're like, okay, hit reset available amounts and then cover all the overspending and then move from there. But this is just, this is the way to go. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. So now I would want to have a conversation with the person about matchy, right?
Sure. Yes.
Do they want to continue matching categories to accounts? Like we have way too savings, which is an emergency fund, because this says do not touch. I assume that's kind of their vibe, right?
Yeah, and I would assume at this point they probably do.
Yeah,
because the accounts are still there. So
so since they're playing matchy, I would matchy right here.
Okay,
and try to convince them not to continue that. But it's hard to get people to let go of that account structure, especially right now when they're overwhelmed. So I wouldn't want to.
So let's just start and see what happens. So we'll move 700 to the emergency fund category. Right. So now we have 700 in the account, 700 in the category.
The
taxes 193.47. Move that to the taxes category. All right. What else needs to be matched up?
Vacation.
Okay.
160.34. And we got Christmas and fun money, which I might make the case real hard for the fun money. Just please put that in checking. But that actually might be a good way if I was coaching somebody right now. That might be a good way to start this process of consolidating accounts. And I'd also want to ask them, hey, is there actually an account in the real world? I mean, I know there is because we just did the reconciliation, but is there actually an account? Because sometimes I think folks will create fake accounts because they're trying to do the budgeting work in the accounts. And sometimes I've heard from coaches that this happens where they're like, I have a fun money account, but that's just part of the checking account. So then you can't even reconcile, and it's a whole thing. So I would do that process too. But if I were going to try to convince somebody to start wrapping up those accounts, I'd start with fun money there. Okay.
And the other thing about the matching, we did not have a whole bunch in ready to assign, but now all of that money is forced to be spoken for.
Yeah.
I feel pigeonholed. We have to use the money for those particular reasons because it's in those accounts.
Yeah. And as you go through this process, they might be like, well, I'd rather use that emergency fund for this, or, you might start to separate the purpose in the accounts a little bit. just by going through this process, you know?
Yeah.
Now, if we had more and ready to assign, the next thing I'd want to do is cover all the all the credit card payment categories, but we don't have enough. So we have some debt to deal with here.
Right. Okay. Let's see. What can we do here?
We do have 85 that we could just cover the Chase card.
So there's more in here than what we need.
But before nice. Okay. So we do have some positive. Okay. So let's fix that.
Can I do math in here?
I think you can do math in the assigned column, but not in the move money feature. Or maybe. I don't think you can though. Well, let's see. Yeah, you can. Oh,
I can. Whoa.
I've never done that before. That's helpful. Okay.
Okay, so now we have the right amount in the Chase to pay that down to 0.
Yeah, so we moved that money back to ready to assign. Okay. So
Okay,
Chase
so
is good. Yeah, we just need to acknowledge, hey, we have some debt we need to deal with. I would rather cover bills and stuff first though let's do the minimums. Why don't we do that? Like, let's cover minimum payments. We don't know what those are though, do we?
No, we don't.
Okay. So let's just hold off on that for now. I would say let's just cover minimums and then use the rest for bills, you know, and what we need.
Okay, so should we just say $50 minimum Costco Visa?
Sure.
But yeah, oops. Oh, that one didn't do it.
Just say plus 50 in the assign column, and that'll do it. Like, go the actual assign column.
Oh,
you
right
can do it
over
that
here.
way too.
Okay.
Yeah, that works too. Yeah.
We'll leave that because that's a higher balance, so we'll say that's the minimum.
Okay. And then just add plus 50 on each of those, and we'll just say the minimums are 50.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, these folks here, we've got some credit card debt, we've got some credit card float situations. Because there's these balances that they owe, and there's not a way with the cash that's available right now to set it aside for that upcoming payment.
What I would do, first I'd assign the rest of the ready to assign, and then we talk about how we're going to handle the debt. Yeah. But let's move back to bills. So we're going to ask that question: what does this money need to do before I get paid again, and assign it accordingly, right? So we got bills. Most of them already paid for October, so we don't need to worry about those. We need
this one's today.
Oh, nice.
Right, that's due today, so we need to fund that.
Yeah.
That's also today's cell phone.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't see those transactions in the register, so those need to be funded. Yep.
Yeah, water doesn't have a target, so I might ask them to add a target for water, and then assign that amount. So, but we don't have to do that now, unless well, we could. But we are running downhill here. I feel like groceries need some money.
Boy,
are we running up against reality here, Ernie?
I mean, yeah, this is going to be tough.
Yeah. It's there's not a lot to work with, but this is we got to face the reality. That's what we're doing. It's good.
I'll put $50 in gas.
Okay, that feels good.
Eating out's going to have to wait. Fun, but not a necessity in this case. Yeah, and do we have any of these frequents, these other things?
Yeah. I mean, we're sitting here. Let's just say it's today. Okay, it's October 22nd when we're recording this. Okay, so we need a little bit. We probably need some household stuff and some medical. Maybe not medical. Yeah, let's do like household stuff, kids' activities. Put in an amount that we feel good about for some of these things. And we would be talking through this. Ernie's just picking numbers right now, right?
Yep, yeah. These numbers mean actually nothing.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And then we got non-monthly. I think we'd hold off on non-monthly until we figure everything else out.
Right. Yeah. We could, right here, these are great candidates for targets. I get a game plan in place there.
Yeah, I would want targets there.
I mean, gifts, holidays coming up here in December.
Yeah, let's set like 100 at least. Maybe more. Yeah, so this is just a process of just going through and planning. I mean, I want some fun money for both of them. If we do have 37 in fun money, where did you put that, Ernie? There's a category. I
made a matching category.
Oh, you made
I just played the matchy game for all those savings accounts.
Okay, you made the category. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
where should that last 1,000 go?
Well, they just took a vacation to Disney, right? I saw that. Let's bring up the Disney transactions.
Yeah, nice.
Right, so that just happened.
Okay. So we probably don't need a vacation
so that's
for a
extra.
while.
I feel like that needs to go back to
it's
ready
over.
to assign. It's over.
Yeah, good point. Okay, so it's a good job on the Disney vacation. You planned that out.
Came in under budget.
Planned out very nicely. Now, why didn't that transfer up to when we reset available amounts? Why didn't that amount transfer up there? Shouldn't it have gone to ready to assign? Maybe not.
That is a great question.
I'm not sure why it didn't.
I don't know why it didn't either.
It's not like scheduled transaction. No, we don't have scheduled transactions. I don't know. I'm not sure why that does it. That's okay. Oh, wait, you go ahead and move it back because you undid it. Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Nope.
Okay.
Redo.
Yeah, that one.
There we go. Okay, so we got over a little over 1,000.
Yeah. So yeah, we actually have a good amount of money to work with for the rest of the month, and then we could even consider next month too.
Yeah, and maybe we don't need to actually figure out what that would be used for.
Yeah, I don't know. We are running a little low on time here.
The priorities are, okay, what does the money need to do between now and the next paycheck?
Yeah.
Think through all of those monthlies, or if you have some non-monthlies coming up, like if there's a oil change at the end of the week or something, you need to plan for that.
Yeah. And I'd want to talk to them about when's your next paycheck, because if you're getting paid on Wednesday or something, or on Friday, that's going to be a whole different story than, I don't get another paycheck until the middle of November. Then if that's the case, then we need to cover some bills for early November, things like that. Right. So it's all going to depend on their pay cycle here as well. But yeah, we just walk through and we assign all the way to zero.
Let's talk through the other priorities as well. So you have between now and the next paycheck, and then I would look at the other bills that you have remaining for the rest of the month and see if you can get a little head start on those.
Yeah.
And then once all the bills are covered for the current month, what are your non-monthly expenses? Start setting a little bit aside for those.
Mm-hmm.
If you still have money after setting money aside for the non-monthlies, then I'd start looking to next month.
Yeah, we could also look at the credit card payment categories. Maybe.
Oh, that's right.
Because I would want to, if I was in a coaching session, I might not do it in that actual session with somebody. If I was like sitting down with somebody, but maybe the next time I meet with them, I would want to have a plan, like a target on each of these. Like, are we going to put the minimum for most of these, and then maybe one that we want to put a little extra toward? And I'd want to create a debt payoff target for each one. Because those are all yellow because they don't have targets. That's why.
That's why they're all yellow. YNAB's wanting us to assign the remaining amount so we can pay that current balance off, but that just might not be possible.
Yeah, and I don't want them to see yellow there. I'd rather create a target for the minimum or a little extra. So I would do that with all of them.
Okay, so you got the monthlies, take care of those, and that includes what's the plan for the credit cards.
Mm-hmm.
Non-monthlies, then after that we can start looking ahead to next month.
Mm-hmm.
And if we still have money left over, what are some goals?
Yeah.
Large or small that we have?
Trip to Europe looks good.
Yeah, the trip to Europe. Is there anything left over? Start funding that a little bit.
Yeah. And then we just talk about routines of like, hey, if you're going to go out to eat, check the dining out category, find the money first, talk about that. Yeah, it's be a process of going through it. But you can see the massive bulk of time spent on the accounts, and that's because there's so many, and there were so many transactions that were all messed up, right?
Yep.
So again, would you do a fresh start, Ernie, if you were if this were you, or if you were helping somebody? Would you suggest a fresh start, or do you think
no, because I enjoy the process of figuring it out.
Right,
honestly,
I loved that. That was super fun.
Yeah, that's the thing. I could do this all day, every day.
Right.
But for someone who's feeling overwhelmed and like, I could never figure out that, or that just takes too much time, do the fresh start. Do not put yourself through that, please.
Yeah. And then it'd be perfect time to consolidate accounts, right? But again, it takes people a while to get there. It took me a while to get there. It took me years to start really consolidating and simplifying. So that's okay too.
And then maybe just try to build in that habit of once a day getting in and managing the new transactions. Just find something that you already do, like brush your teeth every night or every morning or both, and have a little note on the window that says, check YNAB. So as soon as you're done brushing, you check your transactions. Just trying to build that habit because, like you talked about, it was the bulk of our time here dealing with those accounts.
Yeah. And that takes time. I mean, I've talked to coaches where they do this and then they talk about those habits and then they meet with them 2 weeks later and do this again, and eventually you get there where you establish routines to where you don't need to worry about it as much, and also simplifying accounts and other things to make it easier. But that's just what we talk about is, so we'd assign all the money and then we'd talk routines, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Whew.
That was fun.
Wow.
That was fun.
That was fun. It was a lot.
Was not sure if this episode was going to work. I still am not sure it's going to work.
We'll find out, right? Once we release it.
Should we do YNAB Wins or should we skip it?
Yeah, let's do YNAB Wins. I know we've gone super long here, but it's been, I think, a couple episodes since we've done them.
Yeah,
so
we've had some guests. So yeah, let's do that. Okay.
Who's all in your mind?
All right, folks, we've got a couple YNAB wins for you. And also, I want to apologize. My voice, I realize it's gotten worse during this episode. So I was at a football game, American football, this past weekend, screaming my head off.
That's the best reason to lose your voice right there.
Yeah, I like losing it that way. But man, it's making budget nerds and teaching very difficult this week. So apologize.
It's all good.
My YNAB win comes from Adam. Adam emailed us in probably 5 years ago. I'm currently 21 years old. When I was 17, I thought I was in control of my money. But sadly, after 2 CV joints went out on my car and a bunch of other car issues, I had a reality check and found I was not nearly as prepared as I thought. So I started just tracking my transactions to help me be in tune with my finances. But after a year of doing that, I wasn't really that much better off. So I looked around trying to find a really solid budgeting app that took a proactive approach to a budgeting opposed to reactive approach. So after trying Every Dollar, Mint, rest in peace, spreadsheets, and every other budgeting app, one stuck out called YNAB Budget. I hear they had a cult-like following, true, and I didn't want to be left out.
I love it.
So I signed up for the 34-day trial, and very quickly I fell in love with the software. Now my net worth has quadrupled.
Wow.
And I've managed to stay out of debt, and I've been able to cover all of the true expenses that come my way. I roll with every punch and am more prepared than ever before, thanks to YNAB.
Man.
That's fantastic, Adam.
How bright is Adam's future figuring that out so young?
Seriously, at such a young age.
Big deal. I love that.
And it's all about looking forward.
And I have no idea what a CV joint is, but it sounds bad. Sounds real bad. All right. Diego wrote in an email, said, my credit card company had to cancel and reissue me a new card as they detected some fraudulent activity. No harm there, but that meant I had to go to every service. Yes. Oh, man. Every service where I use this card and update the information with the new card number. Who remembers that? Well, because for those, I have scheduled transactions on YNAB. It was easy to go one by one as soon as I got the new card and make sure no service would be interrupted. Oh, I love that. See, I thought this was going to be like and I went through and I reevaluated all my spending. No, it's not that. It's just YNAB made it easier, right?
We hear this all the time, like all these different situations. It reminds me of like Katie from the Fan Fest where had that, the car stolen from her. And she had all this information about the situation because it was in YNAB.
Yeah.
And so
you write all this stuff down. It helps so much.
Yeah, it makes these frustrating situations really easy when it's here in YNAB.
I remember when I changed my bank, I was like, this is going to be such a process, but like, I know I have it all listed out in YNAB. It wasn't that hard. It was actually kind of fun because I'm a nerd. And, and it's easy. So yeah, I love that. Good job, Diego.
All right, folks. Thanks for your time. Hope you've enjoyed this. And if you have a YNAB win, feel free to share it in the comments of the YouTube show or otherwise email us at budgetnerds@ynab.com.
All right. We'll see y'all later.